Hello, welcome back to Doubles and Trebles. It's Pieman here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm here with some thoughts on Friday afternoon session from the PDC World Championship. Things getting underway last night. Some really entertaining matches in there as well, and some not so entertaining ones. But yeah, going to have a quick look through this afternoon's action and some recommended bets. Please do tread carefully as always. Smido is still taking a torrent of abuse from our South African contingent here on Doubles and Trebles for underestimating Grant Sampson last night. So well played, Grant, by the way. Anyway, cracking on into this afternoon's action, and you should be able to see odds checker on the screen. So first up today, we have Alan Suter versus Mal Cumming. Alan Suter very short at 1-6 best price to win this. Mal Cumming out at 13-2 currently. Alan Suter's had a fantastic season, been in really, really good form on the floor, and recently excelled at the Grand Slam of Darts, making the quarterfinals, where he eventually bowed out to Nathan Aspinall. But the Scot is one of the most capable players on the circuit for my money. Former fireman, very likeable guy, and very good player to match. Mal Cumming, on the other hand, qualified via the Oceanic Masters. He's done well to do so, beat Haupai Puha, the New Zealander, and then Gordon Mathers in the final, tour card holder, of course. But the issue I have with Mal Cumming is that when we saw him at the World Series on the big stage, he didn't play particularly well. 278 averages, 2 first-round exits, one of those to Fallon Sherrock. It was Fallon's only win of the World Series, and she was really struggling for confidence then, and Cummins still wasn't able to get past her with the home crowd behind it. And then he got a bit of a tonking off Johnny Clayton in his other game as well. So for me, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to play Alan Suter to win 3-0. A shade of odds against 13-10, which I think is very fair in the circumstances. Of course, these 3-0s you can never take for granted, but I'm more than happy to chance Suter there at 13-10. Our second game of the afternoon is Boris Kirchmer against Toru Suzuki. I talk about Mal Cumming not bringing his best game to the stage. Toru Suzuki was a really funny one on his Ali Pali debut. He scored really, really well against Vidars Rasma, but just had a nightmare on the outer ring. He missed 5 set darts to win the first set in that game, 4 to win the second set, so 9 in total. They ended up losing 3-0. The third set went to a decider too, so he was far from rolled over, albeit it should be said Rasma not at his best. He was fortunate to get away with it, really. Theoretically, he can go one of two ways for Suzuki off the back of that experience. He can either, feel a lot more settled and play a lot better on this second occasion, or alternatively, it's going to leave a little bit of a scar. I think a lot of this game is about how Boris Kirchmer plays. We've seen Big Boris, not a man you'd want to bump into in a dark alley, bit of a unit, and also a very capable player. He lacks the consistency at the moment, but he has had some outrageously good averages in the Pro Tour, especially this year. And we've seen him do it on TV as well. He's broken that ton plus average barrier a few times. If he's feeling it, Boris, I could see this being quite a quick game, actually. And again, there's a shade of odds on about the 3-0 scoreline. I think the 7-5 knocking about. That'll do me. Yeah, 7-5, 3-0 Boris. So that's what I'm looking at in that one. And then am I in a trixie here? And you won't be surprised to hear that I'm going for another 3-0 here in the next game. Adrian Jackpot Lewis taking on Daniel Larsson, the Swede. Jackpot's had a little bit of a renaissance this year. Won a Pro Tour event, ended a long winning drought for him there. We all know how capable he is on his day. He's not the Adrian Lewis of old. However, what I would say is anyone going to this afternoon's session has very much gone to see the former two-time world champion. He's a very popular figure. He's playing Daniel Larsson, the steady Swede, who has been quite dominant in the Scandinavian circuit, but to be frank, he really struggles when he comes out of that circuit into the big wide world. Larsson, he's got 1 win on the Ali Pali stage from 3 visits. Last year, he was scrubbed 3-0 with a 70-something average. And I think that Lewis, this is a plum draw for Lewis. I mean, it's not like he's got an international qualifier that he doesn't know anything about, or a young up-and-comer that will have no fear. He's got Daniel Larsson, who is very exposed. And as much as Larsson is capable of making this a tight contest, I kind of see Lewis turning up very relaxed and doing a bit of a job on Daniel Larsson. The 3-0 here is 7-4. And I actually think that is the best bet of the day. Oh, there's 9-5 there, so actually a little bit bigger than that. That would be my nap, and it would be the only one I would play in a single. But I think you can have a bit of fun by rolling the 3-0s in the first 3 matches up into a trixie. Now, it pays around 13-14 to 1 best price, I believe. Just have a little look here. I've got it in my slip. So, yeah, 13.85. And it is drifting a tad as well. So I think Lewis is the drifting selection. So if you hold on, you might get close to 2-1 for Adrian Lewis to win 3-0. That's a bet for me. But yeah, that Trixie 14-1. Hopefully that'll give you a little bit of interest in this afternoon's session. Now, it should be said just before we go that the final game of the afternoon is Grant Sampson taking on Kim Huybrechts. Now, Adam not with me today on this video. It's just a quick fire video, obviously. Now, any of you that visit the channel regularly will know that we've been trying to do a preview video for all 96 players in the World Championship. We realised pretty quickly after starting it that it was a mammoth task, but we did complete it on Wednesday. Now, one of Adam's players to preview was Grant Sampson, and Adam also was doing the thumbnails. Adam, when he was ploughing through a long list of thumbnails, couldn't find a picture of Mr. Sampson, who'd come through the South African qualifier, a relative unknown outside of his home country. So he went with the South African flag. He gave a slightly downbeat prediction of Grant Sampson's prospects at Ali Pali. Now, Grant Sampson was 8-1 to beat Keane Barry last night. That was a major upset. And fair play to Grant. I thought he played really well. Yeah, not high averages, but he held himself together well, grew into it. Nothing you could do about Keane Barry being a mile off it. He beat what was in front of him. Can he beat Kim Huybrechts today? I think we've learnt our lesson. I'm not going to say it's impossible. And Kim Huybrechts, one of the more beatable seeds, I would say. But he's going to have a tough job on his hands, but he's already done himself proud. So, big up to Grant. No disrespect meant from the channel. And wishing you the very best this afternoon, pal. So, yeah, hopefully you're going to play that Trixie and hopefully we might have some returns on it. We'll be back again very soon to preview another session. But thanks for watching Doubles and Trebles and I hope to see you again very soon. Good luck with your bets.